a lot of times people, they have this urgency, but it's combined with these negative emotions and everything else. And I think that if you were to take a step back and realize, like, life will go on if you don't get that thing done. So if you want to get it done, but go after it with like a certain sense of like, let's do it, not a, I have to do this thing, that kind of thing. It may not make sense, but that's the way that I look at it.
It's framing it a different way, and that can be hard, man.
Aggressive versus frantic. Right? When people are frantic and they're freaking out and whatever, nothing good happens, right? But when you're aggressive towards getting something done, that's a different situation. So that's the way that I see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you get out of a frantic state? What do you do?
Take a step back. I don't know. You have to check yourself. And this is where self-reflection comes in, right? Why are you frantic? Ask yourself. I can't tell someone why they're frantic. I can't tell you how to get out of it.
How do you get out of it?
Huh?
How do you get out of it?
I take time off. I take time to myself. This is where solo vacations came from, right? Like in 2017, I freaking felt like I was burning the candle at both ends. I was sleeping, 5 hours a night, maybe 6 hours. I was training all the time. I was doing the videos. Literally, I would leave the house sometimes on a busy day at like 5 in the morning. I'd get back at 11, right? Like I'm never home. And there was a point where I'm like, I don't like this. I feel like I've become a slave to my work. I feel like I was doing this thing I enjoyed, and then so I got away from everything. I basically just went down to Florida for a week, laid out on the beach, didn't talk to anybody, was just reflecting on where I was and like what I wanted things to look like. And I think that's honestly that's honestly something that could be useful too, as a change of place, change of scenery, basically, because you get in the eye of the storm. Right, so you're there, and everything around you it can become chaotic. Taking a step back, go on like it doesn't have to be a long trip, but just getting away from your normal routine, your normal place, and then sitting back and looking at it, and thinking, okay, what's going on? I think that I think that reflection's hard for most people, or at least not for most people, but for some people, because people don't like to sit in their own heads. They don't like to sit there. Like you watch people, for instance. Like I'll go to like a coffee shop. It's not so much like this now because people don't sit in line very much, right? But I remember like when you go to a place that has a line or has had a line, watch people. They'll sit there for 2 seconds, and then they're like, oh God, I got to fudge around on my phone, right? You'll see them scrolling aimlessly. They're not even looking at anything. They're just like on Facebook swiping, and they're not doing anything. They're just like, I can't sit here for more than 10 seconds in my own head. You're like, that's a problem. So you can't even hear what your own internal dialogue's telling you. So even if you had an answer to sort of overcome your problems, you're not even going to hear the damn thing if it's talking, right? So like, how can you hear what like the answer? Because the answers are already in you. You just got to listen up. They're there. You got to search for them sometimes. And I think that's where like finding some time by yourself, getting away from all your stuff, put your phone down, like just chill, be relaxed, and just listen to what comes up. All of I swear, all of my best ideas have always come from those situations. Every one of them. Anything like the gym came from that situation. Like me becoming full-time in the gym came from me driving around in the evening, just wandering in thought, thinking, right? Not from me like, all right, I'm going to plan it. I'm going to do this thing. No. I was just wandering in thought, and it was like, boom, I got hit. Now, once I got hit by the thing, I got to work, right? The YouTube video thing, like that started off from a friggin' idea. Right, I was like, yeah, that would be neat. Whatever, doing the doing the podcast stuff with you. That started off as an idea, like that would happen when I was just wandering around, going for a walk one day on a Sunday. I was like, that would probably work, right? There's a ton of different things. Even some of the stuff that I do that's not related to jiu-jitsu that I'm happy with, whatever, came from ideas that were just happened when I was relaxed. Because when you're relaxed, things can come up to the surface. When you're freaking out and stressed out or whatever, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think having